Today's guest is Bob Zarlingo. He's a partner with Zarlingo Robb, LLP, CPAs and Business Advisors in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Thank you to Zarlingo Robb, CPAs and Business Advisors in Wheat Ridge, Colorado for providing a location for us to film this episode. At Zarlingo Robb, they think like business owners. For more information about Zarlingo Robb, please click the link in our website show notes. Hi, I'm Norman A. Hood, financial advisor and host of the Exit Plan Show. I interview America's top advisors like Bob Zarlingo to help business owners like you enjoy more personal freedom, grow their companies faster, and transfer ownership seamlessly when the time comes. Today's guest, as I said, is Bob Zarlingo of Zarlingo Robb in Wheat Ridge, Colorado. Bob has more than 4 decades of experience in the public accounting industry. Hi, Bob. Welcome back.
Thanks, Norm.
You're kind of an anomaly with these interviews I'm doing. You're a certified public accountant. You're also certified to do valuations. You're also certified as an exit planner. So today I'm just going to put your CPA hat on,
okay,
and have you tell me how a CPA is actually involved in the exit planning process.
Well, CPAs are one of the trusted advisors a business owner has. Mm-hmm. I think they should. I've quantified 13 of them. Mm-hmm. A business owner could have 4. Mm-hmm. He could have 2, mm-hmm. an attorney and a CPA. CPA mm-hmm. is probably the one of the most critical because of the compliance reporting that's necessary that the CPA does. The compliance reporting to a bank that besides the tax returns, you may have to do financial statements. CPA is critical because they bring a wealth of expertise, a wealth of history with the client, and they're bringing to the table the ability to capture the transaction on how it might play out. Mm-hmm. And this might be a little bit of a side point, but I'm going to throw it out.
Well, that's good. Anything you think would be helpful?
Is that, in 2012, we had a big onslaught of businesses exiting. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I did, I said, I want to go back and take maybe the 4 or 5 largest deals, largest deals I did, and talk to the business owners and say, what did you like about the whole process, or what did I bring to the table for you? Mm-hmm. And he said you were great, and this was almost unanimous across mm-hmm. the board. And I never realized this, but he says, you were great. You always told me where I stood with the income taxes.
Mm.
And entrepreneurs, whether you realize it or not, income taxes is a high motivator in their realm of activities. Mm-hmm. So,
most of my business is in the insurance side, and that's the 9 out of 10 comments people have about throughout the process is what's the tax consequences. Yeah. Business owners work hard, and they don't want to give money away to the government. They don't have to.
Well, and that can be critical in the process because I always try to explain to the owner, saying, hey, if you do it this way, which is what the buyer is requesting, this is what's going to cost you in taxes. Mm-hmm. And so we're kind of maybe giving up a little bit here, mm-hmm. but we're putting an arrow in the quiver to fire back at them when we get down the road here, because we're coming up to something that's more critical.
Okay, well, that's a good point. I'm glad you threw that in.
Yeah, because it's just something that it is a give and take process. It's horse trading. Mm-hmm. Basically, there's not a website you can go to and punch in your numbers and say this is what it should sell for, and somebody will come and say this is what I'm going to buy it for.
Yeah, right.
It's not quite that simple.
You can't sell on eBay yet,
right?
Can you?
Not yet. Although I don't know. I bet somebody's tried to sell a company on eBay.
The collecting would be the hard part.
Yeah.
For a business owner who's considering an exit plan, how soon should they get their CPA involved?
Well, the CPA is critical to the process, but at the same time, a lot of CPAs tend to be more reactive than proactive. Mm-hmm. As soon as they have an idea what the business is worth, mm-hmm. and basically whether they're looking at an asset sale or a stock sale, these are things the CPA is going to want to know so they can start doing the draft 1 of the tax projection. Okay. And so it's fairly early in the process.
Okay.
Because the CPA might have some other insights mm-hmm. into this thing, saying, well, what comes to mind is you've been an S corporation, but you haven't been one long enough to sell the assets without creating a double tax. Okay. And so that's why you need that component to the formula.
Okay, good. When a business owners going through the exit planning process, there are a number of documents are needed. Which ones would they look to the CPA to provide?
Oh, well, the CPA is more going to be involved with initially the financial statements, providing the historical financial statements, which is just pulling them out of his file. Theoretically, the tax returns, they're easy to provide. He may be asked to come in and say, hey, we're closing on this business on October 31st. Can you do a 12-month trailing P&L for us to look at?
Okay.
Sometimes we get into, on an asset sale, what the closing sheet, our closing date balance sheet, and the closing date balance sheet, the CPA would work with the people inside the seller's company to generate that. That's usually generated actually a few days after closing because of the fact that things are moving. The other things that would be involved is the CPA might be asked to do a projection if there's an owner carry on the sale, and he would be putting together what the income from the sale is going to be, what the tax consequences of that are. There would be interest component to that, what's the consequences. So some of these parts are at different tax rates, and that's what the CPA brings to the table.
Okay, good. I'm assuming you probably do pre-sale due diligence.
Yes.
Why is that important to an exit plan?
Well, the pre-sale due diligence is you want to make sure that the buyer you're dealing with has the financial horsepower to pull this off. And sometimes that's not the case.
Oh, okay.
And if it's not the case, we ought to know that up front before we start investing a lot of time, effort, and money into it. The pre-sale stuff is that we would go through and do some of the historical ratio analysis and stuff, so that if we think there's going to be holes in something, we want to be able to know what they are, so when the buyer runs across them, we'll be able to explain them satisfactorily without causing him to pack up and run.
Yeah, that happens, I guess, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. And so those are the types of things that the CPA usually brings to the table.
The other problem when they pack up and run, sometimes you've lost all the other potential buyers. At that point, they know one of them is bolted. They all bolt.
Well, they tend to drink the same Kool-Aid. The other thing that is mandatory in my involvement with these is I usually have the CPA prepare on an asset sale the purchase price allocation.
Okay.
Because it's better. You have more power if you put it together. Not more power, more negotiating power, I guess, if you put it together and have them review it rather than have them put it together and you review it.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
You can go to the show notes on our website for more information about Bob and Zarlingo Rob. At the end of this video, you can subscribe to our free newsletter, download free guides, and have an opportunity to win free books from Amazon.